Are you a world leader in the middle of a potentially career-ending crisis? Was a pandemic announced and you slightly downplayed it?
View this the same as the flu.
Did you then find yourself with over 60,000 of your citizens dead, a crashing economy and 30 million unemployed? Are you up for re-election in a few months? So you panicked and started detracting attention.
It's not acceptable what happened. It came out of China, and it's not acceptable what happened.
Don't worry, I've got a playbook with the distinct whiff of vodka and bears that's ready for you to follow. Now, the number one rule to getting people on board is to be bold. No one's going to believe you if you use words like maybe, probably, possibly, or Theresa May's favourite, highly likely. You've got to be confident.
Have you seen anything at this point that gives you a high degree of confidence that the Wuhan Institute of Virology was the origin of this virus?
Yes, I have. Yes, I have.
Like a couple of years ago when certain people were very confident that the Kremlin was fiddling in the US democratic processes.
It is a high confidence judgment of the entire intelligence community, and the members of this committee have seen the intelligence. It's not a close call. That happened.
Just like in the Russiagate playbook, 4 years on, evidence is optional, but confidence is key. Now, while being confident is important, one also doesn't want to be caught out. So you balance that confidence with a touch of mystery.
What gives you a high degree of confidence that this originated from the Wuhan Institute of Virology?
I can't tell you that. I'm not allowed to tell you that.
And don't worry if you're seen as a hypocrite for previously not being a fan of people who don't disclose sources.
I'm against the people that make up stories and make up sources. They shouldn't be allowed to use sources unless they use somebody's name.
Because now that these nameless, faceless people are on your side, they're totally legitimate. What are international organisations and independent scientific experts there for if not to ignore? I mean, look back. Despite the findings of the Mueller report, the Democrats are still brainstorming daily how to get Trump out of that White House. You really want the message to get out there. So, especially in quarantine where everyone's screen time is up, you need to get it on TV. Also, this is no time for subtlety. Just go for it.
China is the one that's out of control. We're not going to let you destroy this country. We fought too long to lose it to a Wuhan. That's what I said, a Wuhan virus.
And it's a tried and tested method, right, Rachel?
Russia, Russian government, Russia, Russians.
We all know that everyone likes a cheeky conspiracy theory. Just ask Jeffrey Epstein. And who are you to deny the people what they want? So make it a cover-up, a big deal that others are in on too.
They misled us. I don't know. They must have known more than they knew. Either they didn't know or they didn't tell us, or, right now they're literally a pipe organ for China.
Another tried and tested method. After all, 3 years ago, people lapped up the weaving of a tale about a ruthless enemy building alliances in order to undermine global peace.
They play all sides. They, much like I learned in infantry school about how they use artillery. They fire artillery everywhere, and once they get a break in the wall, that's where they swarm in and they focus. And they do that very well today. You'll see them in Europe supporting people on the left or right, whichever will dismantle the democratic function that they're after.
You having a hunch is one thing, getting on TV is another, but people are likely to be sceptical of both. So what you really need is backup.
But there's no doubt we can't have business as usual after this crisis, and we'll have to ask the hard questions about how it came about and how it couldn't have been stopped earlier.
Just like a few years ago when Bojo was still COVID-free.
Russia is up to all sorts of no good.
One lone voice can be ignored, but multiple people saying that something's rotten, they can't all be wrong. I mean, look at the dossier on the weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. Oh, wait. And finally, don't forget, you are the star of this show. So don't let people tell you that, for example, a pandemic is just a pointless global health crisis. Make it about you.
China doesn't want to see me elected. China would like to see sleepy Joe Biden. They would take this country for a ride like you've never seen before.
And that, my friends, is a masterclass in four-year transformation, from being the victim of a witch hunt to going hunting for some witches yourself.